Welcome to FT Markets. Oil. What is happening in the marketplace at the moment? We've seen in the last couple of days the price attempt to find a floor. Here to discuss what's going on with me is Anjli Raval, our oil and gas correspondent. So Anjli, the price seems to have stabilised in the last couple of days. Have we found a floor? What's been happening?
So a couple of reports have come out both from Opec, the oil producers cartel, as well as the IEA, the wealthy nation's energy watchdog. And both reports have said that non-OPEC production is likely to continue. However, they forecast that it will be at a slower pace than initially expected, which has provided some support over the last couple of days. Actually, the oil price has risen a little bit more from even this level here. But the question is, is this really a floor, or are we likely to see this is a bit of a break and prices fall even further?
So the sort of strategy from OPEC and Saudi Arabia of letting the market determine, the price of oil rather than, production cuts, that seems to be having an impact on non-OPEC supply, does it? But where are we seeing these cuts coming? Is it US shale, as everyone thinks, or is it somewhere else in the world? Where's the impact being felt at the moment?
So non-OPEC production really over the last several years has accelerated very quickly, as we can see from this chart here. But the question now is that with a much lower oil price, where are the cuts going to come from? A lot of attention has been paid to the US and Canada, and we've already started to see in the US, drilling counts fall, and other data showing that we've started to see a bit of a pullback. Now, this hasn't translated directly into a slowdown in production yet, but the IEA is saying we may start to see this in the latter half of the year. But it's not just North America. The IEA has also cut its forecast for Colombia and also Russia.
Okay, so a tighter market in the second half of the year, which could conceivably put a floor under prices then, I guess. So, if we flip away from supply, look at the demand side of the equation, what's happening there? Are, consumers, sort of flocking to buy more because oil is at $50 a barrel? What's happening? Are we seeing a demand response to this low oil price or not?
In the US, this really has made a big difference. We can see from this chart here that since mid-June at least, there's been a sort of steep increase in demand for gasoline. Each US household last year had an extra sort of $700 to $800 extra in their pockets. So that clearly you can see the benefit there. But in the US, retail taxes only make up 12% of prices at the pump, whereas in the UK, for example, it's at about 60%. So lots of consumer countries haven't seen as much of an increase in demand. There's that, but also some emerging market countries have removed subsidies, and there's also the impact of a stronger dollar on weaker consumer country currencies.
Okay, but I guess at the end of the day, demand is vital because we've got this supply. Okay, it might be slowing a bit, but we've still got sort of stockpiles building up. The only way to eat into those is demand. So we really need to see a demand pick up at some point. But okay, we've seen a bit in the US, but not really elsewhere. So does that sort of paint a sort of a bearish picture for oil prices going forward then, or?
The IEA raised this point today. They said that a lot of consumer economies are facing sort of broader economic weakness. Now, this was actually behind the oil price fall in the first place. So if we are counting on demand coming back, where is it going to come from?
Thank you, Anjli. So it does seem as if the lower oil price is having an impact on supply, but demand is still weak. So that paints a pretty unclear picture for what the oil price is going to do. For more on this topic, go to ft.com markets.